I'm Tiffany Watson, Director of the Edward J. Lewis Lawyers in the Classroom program. Thank you for joining us for the Lawyers in the Classroom program series. Today, we'll hear from Ms. Amy Sobotka, teacher partner, about her experience and why she joined the Lawyers in the Classroom program. Welcome, Ms. Sobotka.
Thank you for having me. Well, I'm this Franklin Fine Arts where I'm teaching. I've been here for 5 years, but the past 3 years I have been the middle school social studies teacher. And the previous teacher, Ms. Halloran, and I'm not quite sure if anyone has done it prior to that, but she actually was the one who told me about the program that you all have, been working with Franklin for a few years prior to me coming in to be the social studies teacher. So once she left and I, joined the middle school team, her and our assistant principal, Ms. Ferreira, told me about the program and talked about how they, did it and the benefits and how the children enjoyed it so much. And they wanted me to continue on with it. So that is part of the reason we still do it. It's a great program. The kids love it. And I just wanted to keep up with the tradition. So that is why we are still continuing on doing this program. So they've been here twice. We actually have our last session next week. The two that we have talked about, the one that was the most engaging for the students that they really enjoyed, we were talking about the difference between free speech and hate speech. And we focused a lot on the First Amendment. And since there are so many different, parts of that First Amendment, we kind of went into some of the different sections of that First Amendment. So that was what we did last time. We focused a lot on was that First Amendment and then just the difference between, yes, there's, free speech, but then there's also such thing as hate speech, and there's limits to, what free speech entitles. So one of the major ways they benefit is, especially 7th and 8th grade, we're focusing right now in 8th grade on civics. There's a new civics curriculum that CPS has put out. So 8th grade students need to take, it's 20 weeks, so it's 2 quarters of civics. And then they end up with a final project. And it's based off of basically helping these students become, civic actors in the world. So it focuses a lot on that. But in order to be a civic actor, we have to go through the amendments, the Constitution, and all of that. And we kind of start with that in 7th grade. So it's helpful for them because they're, engaging activities, and it helps them to better understand, the Constitution, our legal system, and just if they have an interest in one day becoming a lawyer, it kind of gives them that insight on what, lawyers deal with, because, the lawyers come in and some of the questions that the kids ask them is like, oh, what kind of law do you do? They don't think they really realize that there's different degrees of, lawyers, or there's different areas that they can help people out in. So just getting them familiar with, that career, and then just that better understanding of the Constitution, those different amendments. And, just because we have free speech, there are still limits to that, what we are able to do and say. Just in general, seeing the children actually engaged with the lawyer, it's kind of too, I think they're like, oh, you're a real lawyer. Because many of these students, depending on the schools that they are a part of, we have a very diverse school here. So there are some people who have never met a lawyer before or know anyone that is a lawyer. So one of the highlights is some of the children get, some of the students get really excited. It's kind of like they're seeing a local celebrity. Just because it's, somebody that they have never met. They've never met a lawyer. They don't know a lawyer. No one in their, family is a lawyer. So that's just one of the highlights too, is seeing how some of the students, react. And then also seeing that these lawyers are just, everyday regular people. So it kind of gives them like hope that, if this is something that interests them, then one day they can also be in that position and even come back and, give back to their students. So that is one highlight, just what the students are getting from it. And I just think, students, how they're engaged in, the activities and just a variety of different ways of learning that benefits them. So that would be my favorite highlight of just what this program is giving to the children and what the children are able to take from it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Love to hear that. Well, we're just so thankful that you, Ms. Sobotka, are a part of the Lawyers in the Classroom program. We're so grateful for you sharing your thoughts and your experiences. So happy that Franklin Fine Arts is our partner. So thank you again for your partnership. To learn more about the Lawyers in the Classroom program, please go to www.chicagobar.org/chicagobar/LIC.